The Predator is one of the last truly great movie monsters. Completely original, terrifyingly designed, and a testament to the makeup and visual effects teams who brought him to life. And every piece of his arsenal tells a story. Today, we're looking at one of his most fascinating weapons, the retractable Combistick from Predator 2. It's sleek, deadly, and instantly recognizable. But this piece carries its own mystery. Was it part of a long-forgotten prop heist? Or could it be a replica, masquerading as the real deal? We're digging into all the details behind this iconic and potentially lethal piece of sci-fi weaponry to find out the truth. Over the years, I have tried to add to my collection different Predator weapons. And there's been a lot of questions on what's real and what isn't. So this is it, the Predator's Combistick from Predator 2. And it's one of the most impressive examples of movie weapon design I've ever handled. At first glance, it looks like a simple staff, but this one's special. It was engineered for a very specific and very tricky visual effects shot. I first saw this thing when it was on display at the Planet Hollywood in New York. And when it came up for auction, I jumped on it. It was in great shape, but it did have some missing pieces. So a couple years back, I had Martin do some restoration. One of the things you did was you created this panel right here because this particular spear was missing this section.
Yeah.
And it's probably because they needed access to these pieces. Would you say that's true?
Yeah, this was a removable piece and it broke off.
Right. This was not something you sculpted. This was taken off another one of the Predator pieces I have. Yeah, you heard that right. I actually have at least 2 Combisticks. When it comes to Predator props, I like to cover both ends of the spear. One's the hero version with the retractable mechanism, and the other, well, that's a bit of a mystery. So this is a piece that is basically the same scale. This has a bunch of individual pipes and mechanisms that these shell sections cover, whereas this is all one piece. And then these are rubber tips versus these are resin.
Yeah.
And the color is very different.
The color is very different, but the interesting part is, so this is from the same mold.
Right.
Perfect, the same mold, exactly same detail. This is not a reproduction. This is the real one. And the cool thing about it is that there's a lot more detail in this one than in this one.
Oh, interesting.
Because this shell here, this sculpted shell, so it's partially wood, sculpted like wood, and some scales here. So you can see it's built, like the Predators will build it from animal parts and vegetable parts.
Vegetable parts? Yeah, I don't think the Predators were making weapons out of asparagus, but who knows? The second Predator film was a turning point. First time we really got a glimpse at a larger Predator mythology and world. And the design of the Combistick is a perfect example of that. It's not just a cool weapon. Its elaborate design hints at a greater Predator civilization.
In order to create this spear, which has mechanical pieces, they needed a little bit more room. So they cut out sections. For instance, this metal ring right here, if you look at it, there's a wood section.
Right. Yeah.
This entire section here, they needed more room to fit the spear, so they added this whole section of wood right there. So the design is different. The design for the Combistick started with conceptual artist Crash McCreery, long before anyone figured out how it would actually work. They sculpted the static version first, just to get the look right. And then the mechanical effects team had to reverse engineer that design to turn it into a real working weapon. I love props like this because they're the perfect mix of art and engineering. It's not just about how cool it looks. It's about creative problem solving to realize the filmmaker's vision. This one is the mechanical version where they had to remove chunks of it. The craftsmanship is incredible. The history lines up, but there's this lingering question in the back of my mind. Years ago, there was a break-in at Stan Winston Studios, and some Predator and Aliens pieces were reportedly stolen. Now, I'm not saying that these came from that situation, but it's hard not to wonder.
And that's what makes this investigation a little more complicated and a lot more interesting. My concern has always been, there's been stories in the collector community of pieces coming out of Stan Winston Studios that aren't legit, and that there was a collector who knew a guy on the inside that was getting real stuff out and fake stuff. So the difference between the paint jobs is significant between these two.
I mean, this took work. This is not like, hey, I'm just gonna, overnight I got the mold, I'm gonna cast one up real quick. This hasn't lost any of its detail generation-wise. So it's like a first casting out of
first generation casting. Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm certain it's coming from Stan Winston Studios. It's not fan-made, it's a real one, and it tells us a lot.
According to the behind the scenes that I've watched, they couldn't make a spear that collapsed all the way down from 7 or 8 feet. What they did instead were made a couple different stages, where this one, if you flick this button, this trigger, it will only extend to about 5 feet.
I've never seen this thing extend out.
Yeah, there's a big spring on the inside. When I was working on it, the whole thing just pulled out.
Wow.
I was like, whoa. I wish it hit me, so I would have claimed to be like...
Hunted by the predator?
Yeah.
Stand back.
Yeah, careful, watch out.
Watch your hand, Caleb.
Yeah, watch your hand.
Ooh.
Wow.
There you go. There's one. Go for it. Yeah, it extends pretty far.
It's got oil on the...
There. We pull it. There we go. Yeah, it expands 3 times, right? 3 times.
I think the next bigger one did just go from this to the full extension. I would like to see how fast it does spring open.
Well, I mean, I can hold it. You want to push it in. I'll hold it like that if you want to push it in.
Oh, nice.
It's strong. You can feel it. It's
and
like,
when it was new, I'm sure it worked faster.
Yeah, with a little WD-40 in there.
Is this one of the most dangerous props in your collection?
No. Okay, let me get ahead of the comments. Yes, I've amassed a pretty serious film prop armory over the years. Swords, bows and arrows, firearms, flamethrowers, machetes, whips, even a VX nerve gas rocket. So no, the Combistick is not the deadliest thing in my collection. The biggest question for me is, why is there such a difference in color between these two? Now, we have some photos behind the scenes of Stan Winston Studios when they were building these things, don't we?
Yeah, so this is a table full of all kinds of Predator gear. I mean, they certainly all look the same kind of brownish.
Interesting.
Is that a piece of meat on the right side? Like a cadaver?
That's probably
That's one of the
a dead
cadavers,
body.
yeah. Because he doesn't keep the bodies. He skins them, takes the heads, and then leaves the meat.
Why does he skin them? Like, take their heads.
It's certainly terrifying to see a human body skinned.
It's a ritual, maybe.
Maybe that's all he eats. He just
Skin?
likes the skin.
Be skin jerky?
Yeah, it's like
Predator skin jerky? So this is interesting. Look, when they cast this in the mold, the mold has keys. It's a silicone mold, right? And it has keys on it, and it fits in a mother mold, which is fiberglass, right? And the keys are supposed to fit in the mother mold, so the silicone skin holds in there. It's like a sock. When you don't press the keys in their corresponding holes, it deforms the casting, because the mold is bowed. So you can see here, one of the keys wasn't set.
Right.
So this is all bowed in like that. And this is a bad casting. These extra bits right here, these
Yeah,
maybe
they would have probably had a ton of them.
this could have been leftover parts from production, and somebody took it, painted it.
Yeah, and you said that the vacuum plating is expensive, right? So it makes sense that they wouldn't have done the same paint job if it was a bad casting. So, we'll try to match it.
So this is from Stan Winston Studio, but probably not film used.
Right. That's always been my suspicion.
it's possible that this is that one.
Yeah, that does look like it. Can we?
Is there a switch on the... Oh, there's a switch on the side.
Yeah, right here. You can see the switch.
There you go.
It's in the same...
It's possible there was an additional weathering that happened on top of this, a paint layer that has worn off.
But
look at the mechanism. You can see the mechanism too.
Yeah. You couldn't get much closer from all of the paint detail on it.
The materials and engineering on this hero piece line up perfectly with what we're seeing in the production photos. This definitely came out of Stan Winston Studios and was built for the production. But how many of these did they actually make? And if they built more than one, which is highly probable, is this the one we see on screen? There's only one way to find out. Screen match.
So this is when it goes backwards. So
yeah, and it's not, the rain is going the right direction.
I know of another one of these that's only one side retracts and extends. It's only meant to be one side, so theoretically, that one might be designed to go backwards.
Well, they could also take...
It's the same collector I got this piece from, and that one is a metallized one. It's a mechanical metallized one like this.
And this actually, you can see it's just the one long...
Oh yeah, it's just the one long piece retracting.
The one long piece. Yeah, the one that starts here and goes out has a two-stage effect.
Yeah, so the last stage on this doesn't go back.
Yeah, so they'll cut away before that. This goes all the way in.
So that could be shot backwards because there's no rain.
There's no rain.
So that one could be this.
That one could be this one.
And this one does go one side first and then the other.
Mm-hmm. Which this kind of does when you hit it.
When you hit
That's
it.
right. One side then the other.
In the shot before there's rain, in this one there is no rain because they had to do it backwards.
Right.
But I mean, other than that, it's so dark, there's no details you can
That's true.
match to.
That's the problem with trying to match to this movie is all of these shots are very dark. Now this is the Texas switch here.
You might not be familiar with the term Texas switch, but you've definitely seen it. It's an old school filmmaker's trick that traces its roots all the way back to the beginning of cinema. It's when one performer or prop gets swapped out for another mid-shot, usually right as the camera pans or something passes in front of the lens. It's used all the time, like when a stunt double takes over in the middle of an action shot, or when a prop gets replaced by a safer version without cutting the camera. It's quick, clever, and totally invisible when it's done right. One of those bits of movie magic that's been fooling audiences for decades.
So he's got this version of an extending one behind his back. He pulls it out, flips the switch. It goes to this size, which is about 5 feet. And then it pans up past his hand. As you watch it live, you can kind of see his hand move. And so there, he's dropping
There he's going,
the one,
he's dropping one, he's being handed the other one.
the other one.
Yeah,
And then he pulls that one up into frame.
yeah,
And as he pulls that one up, he flips that switch and it extends to the full size.
yeah. Yeah, it's really cool.
This is as clear as you can get. And I mean, everything looks the same.
And you could clearly see the color matches more.
Yeah.
See this white line right here? No, right here.
Oh, up there.
This white line right here. And then it's just like paint that went in there. See that little screw right there?
There it is.
Oh, that's a screw, yeah.
It's right here.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Yeah, I think that's it. This one has always been questionable to me. And now that you point out if the skin in the mold isn't keyed properly, that it would cause a deformation, and this one has a deformation. This feels like this is not right. So one of the guys that worked on this was John Rosengrant, and he's a legend in the industry, worked with Jim Cameron, worked with Steven Spielberg, worked on tons of different films, and he definitely put a lot of time in on Predator 2, so I think he could answer our questions. The work that you have been involved in, there's an insane amount of engineering, isn't there?
And particularly on Predator 2. Predator 2, I think they had time to think about, more gadgets and more things to do. And yes, they were very technical. Everything, back then, I mean, it took a lot longer because you're doing everything by hand. Each thing you do is like a prototype. Unlike Porsche, where they get to build a prototype and drive it around a racetrack. And
it's been years on it, right?
we've got, if we're lucky, we got 4 months. And you better make sure it's bomb-proof. The art came first, and then once it was finished, then it would go to the mechanical department, and they would, figure out how it was going to engineer it and make it work. I was doing some concept work, and Mark McCreery, Crash, as he's is well known. Steve Wang and Matt Rose really set the bar high, art-wise, on the first Predator.
Right, right.
So we had to live in that world, but we also thought, all these predators are a little bit different, just like people. They have different complexions, they have different skin tones, they have different patterns. And if you look in the animal kingdom, same thing.
Individuals are always different, right?
Everything that we do is we're trying to make the unbelievable believable. That's what we're tasked with. Let's find something to anchor what we're doing in the real world so that when people see this unbelievable thing, there's something that they recognize, there's something that feels authentic, and it's like, I've seen that before. It looks real to me. That was always our jumping off point.
According to the LAPD, there was a Predator spear stolen and a disc stolen. Do you remember that happening?
I do remember when that happened. It was stolen out of Stan's warehouse, from what I remember.
Really?
Yeah.
So this was after production or during production?
After production. The only time we had anything stolen during production was on Aliens.
Really?
And it was one of the alien stunt heads, and we ended up getting it back. It ended up in a flea market.
Really? Wow.
In East London, and somebody, let the production know.
I've got this Predator 2 spear.
Yeah. That, to me, looks authentic because what I did, what was different on that movie from first Predator, was that all the metal work was painted with paints. And on Predator 2, I felt like I wanted to go send it out to get it vacuum metallized. So that golden bronze look,
Right,
it carries on through, and it carried on all his equipment and armor. I sent that out to get that plated, and it was a vacuum metallizing plating system where they had figured out on the first Terminator how to make him look chrome. Now we do things differently. There's all sorts of metallic paints and whatnot that you can use. But back then,
there was only one solution, was there?
That was the solution.
Were there any versions of the props that weren't metallized? Because I've seen some out there in the market.
Yeah, I don't believe so. I sent everything out to get vacuum metallized and plated. And what people don't know is there was two sizes of everything that was made. Right. There was stunt guys, which were 6'3", 6'4", and then there was Kevin Peter Hall, who was very unique. He was 7'1". We built two suits and a set of props and everything in two different sizes.
So that's really interesting. There's different scales of props. Were there different scales of mechanical pieces as well?
I don't think so. I seem to recall that the props were made, there's either a short spear or a long spear.
Right.
There wasn't anything that extended or worked. That was always done full size.
Full size Kevin Peter Hall scale.
Yeah,
right.
Kevin Peter Hall scale.
How many different variations did you have of ones that had effect to it? That had springs or hydraulics or air pressure?
I think there was 3 versions. There was a very short one that extended to a certain level, and then we'd start with the next one. And then I think there was a final one, and it was handled, with Texas switch and
right.
And probably now you'd start with a small one, and then it would probably happen right before your eyes, and you'd see everything. But I'm not sure that's always good. I think some of the old magic still works.
Well, John, thank you so much again. I appreciate it. Hopefully, in the future, if we have additional pieces that you worked on, you'd be open to talking. This was an enjoyable experience for you. I really appreciate it. Thanks, John.
Absolutely. Alrighty.
Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, I think we can call this one a success. The mechanical combi stick matches to the film. The color, the materials, the mechanism, everything lines up perfectly with what we see on screen. With the static version, on the other hand, the paint is clearly different. It may have been built as a stunt version, but probably never made it onto the final shots. That said, it played a huge role in helping us understand and ultimately restore this hero piece. Looking at these two together, you can really appreciate the amount of artistry and ingenuity that went into making them. The design, the engineering, the storytelling. All working in harmony to create something that feels alive. That's what makes Predator so special. It isn't just about the creature, or the weapons, or the killings. It's about the artist who cared enough to make every detail tell a story. And honestly, if the people who built these props hadn't cared so much about the character and craftsmanship, I don't think we'd still be seeing new Predator films 40 years later. It's living proof that when design, storytelling, and the imagination come together, the results can stand the test of time.